As the anime opens, Reen Shroud is being yelled at by his other party members. Reen is shocked when Arios tells him he's been kicked out of the party. When Reen pursues them for an explanation, Leanne, one of the group members, furiously responds that he's useless. At this point, other group members begin making fun of him, and when he tries to speak, Arios advises him not to because it would be pitiful. Reen leaves the group and returns the equipment. Reen begins to consider what he should do now that he has no goal, no gear, and no money. Some children approach him while he's still deciding to inquire whether he's completed the hero job. Then they ask him to do the regular thing, which he gladly does. He notices a flying eagle and forms a brief alliance with it. The youngsters are overjoyed by seeing the eagle greet them, so Rain decides to release it. The kids inform Rain that instead of being heroes, they want to train to be beast tamers, like him. When Rain asks about this, they respond that while other members of the party are constantly rude, Rain is unique and always interacts with them. That reminds him of the obnoxious behavior of the other merchants whenever he discusses the hero party. After giving some thought, he chooses to pursue adventure. Rain submits his name as an explorer at the Adventurers Guild. He requests information about the Adventurers system from Natalie Bro, the guild receptionist. She provides him with the necessary information and consults his class. She becomes agitated when Rain mentions his class as a beast tamer, which causes Rain to recall what Leanne had previously told him, but Rain assures her that everything will be alright. Then as a registration test, he's instructed to unalive 10 goblins. He locates the goblins with the aid of a squirrel and begins to assault them. He manages to kill them and gathers their magical stones. Then, after hearing a scream, he realizes that a girl's being cornered by a killer tiger. He decides to attack it with his knife, but the knife breaks due to the tiger's tough skin. He starts closing in on him, but the girl leaps into the air and slams the killer tiger. This girl is a cat spirit, one of the higher level species. When the girl stumbles, Rain asks if she's okay, but she just claims to be hungry. She expresses gratitude to Rain for the food and introduces herself as Kanade. As they begin to talk about their lives, Rain shares his betrayal story with her, which makes her upset. He pats her on the head and tries to calm her down. She then asks Rain to tame her. Rain initially doubts whether that's even possible, but decides to give it a shot anyway. It turns out to be a success, and Kanade joins his journey. Later, Rain shows Natalie the loot from his adventure, and she informs him that he successfully completed the adventurer's trial. He's now an F-ranked explorer and receives 50 copper coins for completing the mission. Natalie adds that if his rank goes up, he'll be paid extra for all the tasks. A man suddenly approaches the two, and he's immediately drawn to Kanade because she's a cat spirit. The man challenges Rain to an arm wrestling match with Kanade as the prize, because he finds it difficult to comprehend that Rain managed to tame one of the supreme species. When Natalie arrives, the issue has already escalated. She offers Rain her apologies and mentions that the guild was aware of the man's antics and was considering suspending his license. Rain is a little taken aback by the notion that his strength is on par with Kanade's because he's never experienced anything like this. Later, they go for some herb gathering, but Kanade's hopes of helping Ryan get crushed as he manages to grab the herbs with his tamed beasts. Suddenly, she hears screams, and they see an old man getting robbed. Rain tells her to rescue the elderly while he deals with the robbers. He quickly deals with them and finds out that they belong to Ebony Fang's group. The old man further says that he was traveling with some adventurers for protection, but they ran away, seeing the bandits. Rain resolves to deal with the remaining Ebon Fangs after giving the matter some thought. He explains Kanade his strategy, which includes another short-term agreement with an RB, a species which has the ability to render someone paralyzed for up to 12 hours. He asks Kanade to contact other adventurers and the Order of Knights for reinforcements. We cut to the two adventurers who were traveling with the old man. They are Mina and Leanne from the hero's party, as well as Rain's former teammates. They blame the new beast tamer and label him ineffective. Rain, on the other hand, destroys all of the Ebony Fang's members with his bees and reinforcements brought by Kanade. Rain notices that no knights of the order are present, and that only adventurers are dealing with the immobilized bandits. The Knights Order did not have time to deal with a bunch of cut purses, one of the reinforcements reveals. Suddenly, some king lizards, which happen to be C-ranked monsters, attack them, but both Rain and Kanade easily defeat them and leave the base. They're praised for their efforts and receive numerous compliments, which Rain had never received at his previous party. Rain's narration describes how they were called back to the Adventurers Guild after turning in the bounty on the Ebony Fangs. Kanade considers herself fortunate to have been discovered by Rain, as they sleep peacefully after this hectic day. Later, they discover from Natalie that a hooligan has taken up residence at Stride Bridge and picks fights with everybody attempting to cross said bridge. So they leave to take care of this situation. It turns out that the creature is a higher species known as a dragonoid, and her name is Tanya. Kanade and Tanya engage in combat, and Rain is astounded by Kanade's ability to compete on equal terms with Tanya. Rain requests 3 minutes from Kanade in order to prepare for his fight with Tanya. Rain makes a temporary contract on a bird and instructs it to summon assistance without hesitation. With the help of his bird friends and Kanade, Rain takes down the dragonoid as she agrees to not hurt anyone. After that, Rain, Kanade, and Tanya return to the Adventurers Guild to meet Natalie. Before Tanya can introduce herself, Rain stops her quickly and exits the guild. Tanya attracts attention outside, but Rain and Kanade prevent her from exposing that she's a dragonoid. Seeing Rain's behavior towards her, she asks him to make a contract with her. As a result, he now has 2 higher species as familiars. The next day, the group takes on their first task and searches for a swarm of slimes, but they fail to find them. Therefore, Rain employs one of his taming powers, Assimilate, on a bird, to fuse his soul with it and control it as it searches for the region for slimes. Rain flies out to look for slimes as the 2 watch over his body. They eventually find them. Rain casts a fireball, which is improved by Tanya's abilities, and takes down all the slimes. When they're finished, they return to have dinner. Rain tells them about his hometown's history and how it was destroyed by monsters. He further explains to them the story of how he met the hero party and how they betrayed him. Next day, Rain and his friends battle a group of orcs. One of them succeeds in stabbing Rain in the arm with a knife as he attempts to defend Tanya. In the end, they manage to defeat them. In the same night, Tanya becomes aware of her feelings for Rain as she sees him sleeping peacefully. The following day, while taking a break from their tasks, they come across a certain party and a familiar voice saying, "It's been a long time, Rain." It's them, Rain's ex-party. He inquires them about their purpose, to which Arios replies that they had to leave the Lost Woods due to its difficulty, and they're ready to give one more chance to Rain despite his quote-unquote uselessness. Rain declines their offer and asks them to leave, to which they start emotionally blackmailing him. Seeing this, both Kanade and Tanya halt the hero party and insist that they properly apologize to Rain by groveling. Taking their words as humiliation, they engage in battle. Kanade battles Agath, Tanya battles Mina and Leanne, and Rain battles Arios. But, well, we all know at this point what's gonna happen. Yeah, they completely annihilate the hero party to the point where they just start begging for mercy. So the defeated heroes party apologizes and begs Rain for help in retrieving the Shield of Truth, which is rumored to be located in the Lost Woods. Considering it as an important object which will help in defeating the Demon King, Rain agrees to their request and arrives at the Lost Woods. He uses Assimilate and fuses his soul with birds while both girls protect his body. He finds a path and starts leading the way, but they return to the same location. Realizing something's wrong, Tanya casts her magic and manages to find a tree which is casting an illusionary magic. As Kanade approaches to break the tree, they hear a voice. They see a fairy, which is a higher species emerging from the tree. She threatens them and they run back to the woods. Rain tries to talk to the fairy once again, but she warns him that if he strays any longer, she will hurt him. They discover from her dialogue that her people guard the Shield of Truth, and the illusionary magic barrier prevents access to the fairy village. Seeing Rain's kindness, the fairy introduces herself as Sora, and offers Rain the Shield of Truth after learning it is necessary to vanquish the Demon King. He notices Sora is hiding something and offers her help. Sora's hesitant to respond, but Rain, Kanade, and Tanya persuade her to talk about her twin sister Runa's kidnapping and their responsibility to protect the gates to the fairy village. In the flashback, Sora explains the Shadow Knight's condition for releasing Runa, which is to remove the barrier above fairy village by sundown. Rain's gang proceeds to the Shadow Knight's location, but he forbids Sora from accompanying them because doing so would violate their agreement with the monster. Rain's group arrives at the Shadow Knight's location and sees him sitting on a throne with Runa. Rain casts Fireball at him as a feint. It enables Kanade and Rain to deal a few strikes on the Shadow Knight. He gets angry at Runa after realizing that Sora sent Rain's group. After signing a short-term agreement with some RBs to serve as a distraction, Rain casts Boost on Kanade, and she uses her enhanced power to defeat the Shadow Knight. Finally, the two sisters unite and thank everyone. Kanade wishes Sora and Runa would return to their village, but Sora says she prefers to avoid it now that Runa has been excommunicated. So, in the end, they ask Rain to tame both of them at the same time, which he finds difficult, but he manages to pull it off. Later that day, with his group keeping a low profile, Rain meets the heroes party and hands them the Shield of Truth in exchange for some money. After some time, under a tree, Rain tells his group about the myth of the first hero who vanquished the Demon King. He feels great after realizing he's come a long way and found some good companions. Next day, the group visits a weapons store where they meet Gantz, a Kusa rough and tumble dwarven owner who advises them to select a weapon of their liking. Suddenly, a customer walks in and asks for the best weapon. Gantz, seeing this, offers a sword from the display stand. Seeing the sword, the customer leaves happily. Rain feels odd about the situation and asks the owner what he's hiding, to which he tells them that these are just normal weapons. Then Runa and Sora disparage Gantz as a small-time con artist. He defends himself and displays his finest creations. When asked why he offered his last client such a mirage weapon, Gantz responds that it was a test of his weapons. Seeing Rain's enthusiasm, Gantz agrees to forge Rain a special weapon. But in true RPG fashion, he lacks the necessary materials. So the gang makes their way to the Adventurers Guild, where a sizable crowd of explorers has gathered around the notice board. Apparently, the hero party is now recruiting new members, with certain requirements. They submit the request form from Gantz to Natalie, where Gantz states that he requires Rain's help to mine some mithril to make some weapons. When they arrive at their destination, Rain advises them to wait near the mine's entrance to see if his suspicions about criminals robbing the mine are correct. They discover Rain's theory to be correct and easily defeat the two thieves. Sora and Runa use their magic to discover that they are the adventurers, and their other members are stealing mithril from the mine. The thieves in the mithril mines learn of their friend's defeat from the group's beast tamer, who vows vengeance. Rain, however, easily defeats them by controlling their beast. They turn out to be Gantz's customers, to whom he used to sell his ordinary weapons, and they're exacting their vengeance as a result. Gantz is moved by Rain's remarks, and he vows to treat his clients and weapons honestly once more. The next day, when Rain visits the Adventurers Guild, Natalie informs him of the ore thief's fate, which depresses him. Later, they go for a walk and Rain buys hot dogs for everyone. However, they're stopped by a pompous man and two guards who demand Runa and Sora's names. The pompous noble then enters, introducing himself as Edgar Fromware, son of the Lord of Horizon, and demands that Rain hand over Sora and Runa. Rain takes down Edgar and his guards using fairy magic and forces them to leave the area. Later that night, Edgar orders the knight to kill Rain, and we see him beating a girl with beast ears. Rain and Kanade go to the Order of Knights headquarters the next day to file a formal complaint against Edgar, but he discovers that the knights are conspiring with Edgar. Stella, the vice captain knight, then approaches them and asks for their help in taking out Edgar. Rain accepts the offer, and the two devise a strategy to root out corruption among the Knights of Order. They manage to defeat and capture the corrupted knights. Edgar learns of this and begins beating the same beast girl in frustration. Edgar's assisted by a masked man who hands him a powerful artifact. Rain's group then attacks the Edgar's mansion. Meanwhile, Rain, Runa, and Sora successfully breach the mansion's basement in an attempt to free the hostages. Rain finds the beast girl locked up in a cell. It's revealed that she's a higher species known as demigod, and her name is Nina. Rain frees Nina and meets up with the group. Edgar, seeing this, casts a death spell on Rain, but it doesn't affect him. Seeing him alive, Edgar is consumed by hatred and awakens the demon who previously attacked Rain's village. Rain orders Stella and Nina to help the villagers rather than fight the demon. While Stella and her knights defeat the demon's summoned minions, Sora and Runa use their magic to transport the citizens of the town to a safe location. Nina, who's feeling inadequate, joins Rain's team for support. Nina has the ability to teleport, and she can teleport Rain close enough to take down the demon. Rain approaches the demon with Nina on his back, and after casting a boost on himself, he magically restrains and kills the demon. Next day, we see Rain's party members contributing in the rebuilding of the town. With this, he manages to tame even the demigod. Honestly, Beast Tamers are pretty wholesome anime so far, with a obviously overpowered protagonist. Compared to other Beast Tamers in the world, he's, just a little bit over the norm. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you did enjoy it, make sure to drop a like down below and subscribe to the channel. Ring that bell if you guys want to stay up to date with more content like this. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.